the UN General Assembly on Thursday overwhelmingly passed a measure rejecting the Trump administration's decision to recognize Jerusalem as Israel's capital, which was repeatedly criticized as undermining prospects for peace. Despite blunt warnings that U.S. aid to countries that backed the resolution, and even funding for the United Nations itself may be cut, the resolution on illegal Israeli actions in occupied East Jerusalem and the rest of occupied Palestinian territory got 128 votes. Only 9 countries, including the United States and Israel, voted against it. Another 35 countries abstained, and 21 were absent. The vote was a pointed rebuke not only to President Trump but also to a U.S. pressure campaign to sway votes by threatening to cut funding. Although Trump said Wednesday that he would be watching for countries that receive a lot of U.S. aid and voted against us, the list of co-sponsors grew at the last minute to include Egypt and Jordan, the only 2 countries besides Israel that receive more than $1 billion in U.S. aid. Nikki Haley, the U.S. ambassador to the United Nations, set the stage for a future showdown over aid linked to UN votes. The United States will remember this day in which it was singled out in this assembly for the very act of exercising our right as a sovereign nation, she said. We will remember it when, once again, we are called up to make the world's largest contribution to the UN, and we will remember it when many countries come calling on us to pay even more and to use our influence for their benefit. Characterizing the United States as disrespected, Haley said the U.S. embassy will be moved to Jerusalem regardless. No vote in the United Nations is going to make any difference on that, she said. But this vote will make a difference in how Americans look at the UN. And how we look at countries that disrespect us at the UN. And this vote will be remembered. U.S. threatens countries with loss of aid over UN vote on Jerusalem. Although the measure is non-binding, it carries political resonance, particularly in the Middle East where the U.S. decision has sparked protests and been condemned by Arab governments. Underscoring the U.S. isolation on the issue, even many allies have publicly appealed to the administration to reverse its position and leave Jerusalem's status undecided until Israelis and Palestinians negotiate terms. On Monday, the United States exercised its Security Council veto to block the same resolution. All 14 other countries on the Council, including U.S. allies Britain and France, supported it. Yemen and Turkey then submitted the resolution to the General Assembly, where the United States does not have veto power. None of the countries that voted with the United States and Israel against the resolution are powerhouses Guatemala, Honduras, Togo, and the Pacific Island states of Micronesia, the Marshall Islands, Nauru, and Palau. Among those voting in favor were Russia, China, and several U.S. allies, notably Britain, France, Germany, Italy, Greece, Japan, and Turkey. The abstaining nations included Canada, Mexico, Australia, Colombia, Haiti, Poland, and the Philippines.